Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's AWS networking lesson, we are going to clear one of the most confusing topics for beginners, security groups and network ACL. Most people mix them up and some think security groups are firewall, some think NACL replace them, and others don't understand why AWS needs both. So in this tutorial, I will explain everything step by step. First, we'll see what firewall are and the difference between security groups and network ACL. So this most time this is interview question. What is the difference between security groups and network ACL? How NACL work and the real difference between them. So let's get started. First, we'll see AWS overview. AWS firewall overview. So basically, there are two types of exist: stateless firewall and stateful firewall. Stateless means like evaluate each packet individually and do not track established connection. And in stateless, we need inbound and outbound rules separately. And in stateful firewall is track active connection. If inbound traffic is allowed, return outbound traffic is auto allowed. And only one direction needs a rule in stateful. Next, we'll see before moving to any other topics, we'll first understand the what is difference between security groups and network ACL. So basically, security groups are stateful and network ACL are stateless. So keep in mind, security groups work at resource level, like for EC2 instance, database, and NACL work with subnet level. So these 2 points are very important: stateful and stateless, and work at resource level and work at subnet level. Next, we'll see what is stateless firewall example. So we'll see. Suppose we have web server on port 443. So we have to write inbound rules. So it will allow HTTP traffic on uh, port 443, allow TCP 443, and outbound rules. We have to also write outbound rules. So it will allow response traffic to ephemeral ports like 1024 to 65535. So if server make an outbound request, example on port 80, so you must also add outbound port, and inbound rules allow returning on ephemeral ports. So key concept here, what you take like stateless means you must write both inbound and outbound rules. What you have to write? Both inbound rules and outbound rules. So I think I have uploaded a practical video how to write rules for inbound and outbound for stateless. And next we'll see example of stateful firewall example. So keep using the same HTTPS server will allow inbound routes allow a TCP 443. And here for outbound routes, keep in mind we don't need explicitly allow response traffic. So we don't write the outbound route. If server initiate a connection on port 80, only outbound port 80 is needed. Response traffic is auto allowed. So advantage of stateful, return traffic is automatically permitted. Now we'll see AWS NACL. What is the full form of NACL? Network Access Control List. So keep in mind, uh, it's a subnet level firewall, NACL. Always keep in mind, NACL at subnet level firewall. And so first see what is this. As I told, it's subnet level firewall, and it applied at subnet level and not at resource level. And all instances inside a subnet follow the NACL rules which we'll define. And traffic inside the subnet is not filtered. So stateless, we must write both inbound and outbound rules. So as you know, NACL are stateless, so we have to write both inbound and outbound rules. And return traffic must manually allowed. Next, we'll see security groups. So as we discussed in the beginning, security groups work at resource level. So basically a resource level firewall. Keep this point in mind. It's a resource level firewall. So basically it's EC2, RDS, elastic load balancer. So what is this? It is stateful. So return traffic automatically allowed. We don't have to write the return traffic. And only one side we need to write a rule. Anything not allowed is equal to, we'll suppose it's blocked. Now next slide we'll see security group rules component. What all components we required for writing a rule. So first fields we require name, rule ID, IP version. You can take IPv4, IPv6. We'll say and also we type protocol, port range, and we'll define source, destination, CIDR, and description as optional. Example, suppose we have HTTP rule. So here for HTTP rule, we define type is equal to HTTP and port will take 80 and source. What is this source? Will take 000, and if you define some custom TCP rule, so we'll define type will write custom TCP and in port will write 200. I'm taking example, and in source we'll define something 1.1. So keep notes. If no rules exist, if we don't define any rule, so all traffic get blocked automatically. This is the most important point. Like if we don't define any rule, all traffic get blocked. Next slide, we'll see network access control list rules. So first, it's allow and deny possible. Can allow and explicitly deny. Rules evaluating order. So first lowest number first. Okay. Evaluating numeric order and rule is denied, rule allowed 200. Now we'll see the difference with as I explained earlier also. This is the most important question, difference between security group versus NACL. So at level, suppose we have features. So security group work at resource level like EC2 instance, elastic load balancer, and NACL work at subnet level. This is the first difference. Next, for stateful, security group, yes, it's stateful, and NACL, it's stateless. And for rules, suppose we want to third one, it's allow only. And in network, we have to write both allow and deny rules. And return traffic for security groups, we have auto allowed. And for the NACL, must allowed manually. We have to write manually. So the default behavior of security groups, all inbound blocked, outbound allowed. And in for NACL, all inbound / outbound allowed. Next, we'll see some important notes. So every VPC subnet must have a NACL, and one NACL can attach to multiple subnets. These are very important points. Traffic for AWS internal service like DNS, DHCP bypass NACL filtering, and NACL are based for broad subnet level control. As we told earlier, it's work at subnet level. And security group based for instance level protection. As I explained earlier, it's based for instance level protection. So in summary, stateless NACL inbound plus outbound rules. We have to define both inbound plus outbound rules. Stateful security groups return traffic auto allowed. Security groups allowed only. NACL allow plus deny. We have to write both rules. So that's all from this video. We'll see another important concept of networking. If it's left, I think I have explained all the networking topics. So if anyone left, I will upload the video. Thank you.